So how can you remove a lien from a foreclosure property? This is Dave at titlesearch.com. Many cases, a foreclosure property, by definition, will also have other financial distress, maybe liens, maybe other mortgages, maybe delinquent accounts, or even judgments. How do you get those off the property if you're the property owner? Or more importantly, if you are an investor looking to buy that property or already have purchased that property. If you're an investor looking at a property, here's what you do. Get a list of all the liens on that property ahead of time, prior to bidding, prior to negotiating a short sale. Look at all the liens in terms of a line item, but then also get the underlying documents. Get the actual lien document that was recorded 5, 10, 15 years ago, or the judgment. Identify the creditor. Find out who they are. Find out what the lien was about. Was it a tax lien? Was it a judgment against a person that resulted in a lien? Is it a homeowner association who was not paid? Research that creditor. Find out, do they file other liens on properties? Have other liens been reduced? Have other liens been transferred to other properties owned by that debtor? Find a contact person at that creditor company, or if it's an individual, you can find that maybe on the lien document itself. Then here's what you do. Negotiate a reduction in that lien or a removal completely from the property. Why would a creditor want to do that? First of all, look at their motivation. You are not the debtor. You're not the person who owes them the money. You're not the person who may have not paid a bill to that creditor, to that company, maybe a contractor, maybe even the IRS if it's a tax lien. You're not the person who created that debt. So first of all, they don't have any personal issue with you. However, your property or your potential property is a source of leverage to get money. It's not a source of leverage anymore to get money from the debtor. They don't own the property, or soon to be, they won't own the property. It's being foreclosed. So that leverage only exists with the property. How can that work to your advantage as an investor? Well, the government as a creditor, they want to get the real estate market turning, to get the economy going. They want to get a lot of their debt that's owned by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac not to have so much risk associated with it. So they may be more likely to reduce the amount of a tax lien, an IRS tax lien, on a property as long as you're not the debtor. That's something that's very common. We find that with a lot of our investor clients. What about a contractor? Well, a contractor might have done $5,000 or $6,000 worth of work on a property. That property is now in foreclosure. They probably are not as adamant about you as a debtor because you did not unfulfill your obligation. You're not the one that didn't pay the bill when they put the new roof on the house, for example. They still want their money, but it may have been a year, year and a half, 2 years, maybe longer since that work occurred. So now you may have some leverage to negotiate with them, saying, look, this property is being foreclosed anyways. This lien may be wiped out. You may have some trouble collecting on it, even though it's a mechanic's lien or a contractor lien. The time to do it is before the property goes into foreclosure. After it's foreclosed, now you're the owner. You put good money up. They know that they can just stick it out until you need to sell it to get that off the property. If you can negotiate in advance, tell them, look, it's a $5,000 lien. What if I did this? What if I agreed to pay $1,000 or $1,500? Will you remove it from the property? Remind them it doesn't restrict their right to go after the debtor to get the rest of the money. It just takes it off of your property. Especially if you know you need other work on the property, you can commit to them to maybe using them as a contractor. Having information on that debtor will also help. Was it a personal thing with that creditor? Was it a child support lien? Was it a bad business deal between the prior owner and the creditor? Knowing those things will give you leverage to negotiate it down. Even if you negotiate down 15, 20, 30% reduction, in some cases we find our clients can get less than half, sometimes 10 cents on the dollar, especially with the IRS. You are now in a position to be able to bid more for that property because you know that the lien or judgment liability is less than what you think it is, and it's less than what all the other investors looking to bid on that property will think it is. So you have an advantage to buy that property. Removing liens from foreclosure, it's very common. Spend a little time, spend a little effort. It can save you tens of thousands of dollars. The key to it is knowing the liens well in advance and giving yourself some time to negotiate with these creditors prior to that auction event, because if you try to do it the day before, you're not going to have enough time to do it. Get a good title search well in advance, a week or two in advance, negotiate with the creditors, get that liability limit lower, and then you can be in a good position when you're looking to buy that property. If you need more information or have other questions, you can reach us at our website at titlesearch.com.